Go.
What's going on, everyone? Boyer Senpai here. Well, we did it. We entered our first Pokemon League challenge. Actually, our first tournament ever. And I got third place. Let's go! A converted Yu-Gi-Oh player switching to Pokemon is... I'm having so much fun playing Pokemon. Pokemon is a blast. It's completely different from Yu-Gi-Oh! Opening boxes and packs, I don't know. I'm just enjoying it right now. So we entered our first tournament last Saturday. We got third place. So I'm here to show you my deck profile. But before we get into it, two super huge shout outs. First shout out to the camera girl, my wife in the background, for play testing with me every day for the past 3 weeks, well, maybe every other day. But that was my main test partner. We would play at least five games a day, just trying to get familiar with like the game mechanics and the rules, because like I said, this is totally different than Yu-Gi-Oh! And then shout outs to my man PDS for going back and forth with me on theory on the deck and the secret spice, which I'm going to show you. So let's get into the profile. This is the third place card I got. I went X1 in the tournament. It was 5 rounds, and I only lost the last round to Lost Box. So round one, I played against Miraidon, and I won. Round 2 was against Mew VMAX, and I won. Round 3 was against Lost Box, and I won. Round 4 was against another Mew deck, and I won. And then in the last round, unfortunately, I lost to Lost Box because he had one less prize card than me, and then it was over. So let's get into the profile. So I played Gardevoir, like I said. So I played 3 copies of the Ralts with 70 HP, which is actually really relevant because if you have 2 on the field in your bench and you get hit with Sableye, they both won't faint because they'll do 60 to each, and then you have 10 HP left. So that's enough to evolve. So that's all that matters. And then we play one of the Ralts with Memory Skip, because sometimes you play against Pokemon that only have 1 attack move, and then if you Memory Skip their attack move, either on their next turn they have to retreat, or they just can't attack with that Pokemon. And then you do Memory Skip again the following turn if needed. So we play 4 Ralts. We play 4 of the Curlia that lets you draw 2, so the refinement ability. PDS and I were going back and forth. He was playing 3 of this and 1 of the Curlia with the, I think it's Attack's Mirage step, which lets you summon 3 Curlias from your deck. But I rather draw cards, because if I'm using the other Curlia to summon these 3, I have to give up my attack that turn, and then that Curlia will most likely faint the following turn because my opponent's going to knock it out. So that's why I played the draw 2 one. And then we play 2 of this Gardevoir with the Shining Arcana skill. This card was amazing all day because I would attach so many psychic energies to her, and her brainwave attack would do like 200 plus damage. And then her ability lets you like almost draw 2 cards. So this card was amazing. And I play 2 because if one gets prized, I still have the other copy in my deck to access. Same with the Gardevoir EX. I think 2 was fine. I never wanted a 3rd. And I didn't want to play 1 because if it gets prized, then you're basically in a giant hole because you have no way to attach energies from your discard pile onto your Pokemon. And then I played 2 Zacian as well. If one gets prized, I still have access to the other. Yeah, I was just afraid of my cards getting prized. So 2, 2, and 2. I thought these ratios were fine. I wouldn't cut any of them. And then we play 1 Manaphy. This card's really important because it protects you from Magnezone EX. So it protects your bench and the Lost Box deck as well. And then Greninja, this actually cost me my, unfortunately cost me my round 5 loss because I opened Battle VIP Pass and 4 energy, and I used VIP Pass, and I wanted to go get him, but he was prized, so I was stuck with 4 energy in my hand, and I was in a giant hole. So, but this card's amazing. Discard an energy, draw 2, and then you get the energy back with a Gardevoir EX. And then we played 1 Mew. This card was clutch all day. The ability to look at the top 6 cards of your deck turn 1, and if you see a Battle VIP Pass, you're golden. That, like, I probably did that 2 times in the tournament. And then I played 1 Cresselia to help remove damage from my Pokemon over to my opponent's Pokemon. So that could lead to some knockouts. And then for the Secret Spice, shout out to PDS for this one. This card won me 3 rounds, no joke. I played Pumpkaboo. Pumpkaboo was broken because it's like, it's an out to Path of the Peak, but also won me my round 1 against Miraidon because I outed his Beach Court, and then he couldn't freely retreat his Pokemon back and forth. So, but mostly an out to Path of the Peak. And you could search this off Fog Crystal because it's a basic Psychic Pokemon. So you basically play 5 copies of this in your deck. 1 Pumpkaboo and then 4 Fog Crystal. So basically a searchable worker. And that's it for the Pokemon. Now for the items, we play 4 Battle VIP Pass. This card is broken. When I first read it, I was like, how is this card legal? You get to search your deck for 2 basic Pokemon and put them on your bench. I was like, all right, I understand you only can use a turn 1, but if I open just 1 copy of this, I'm already up 2 Pokemon on my bench. So I don't know how this card's legal. That's just from a Yu-Gi-Oh perspective. In Yu-Gi-Oh, if this was a Yu-Gi-Oh card, it would be banned right away. And then we play 4 Fog Crystal, one of the main searchers in the deck. You get to search a Psychic Energy or a Psychic Pokemon. So you can search for Ralts, even Zacian V, because he's a basic Psychic Pokemon, and Pumpkaboo. And then we play 4 Level Ball. It's just 4 more ways to Kirlia, 4 more ways to Ralts, 4 more ways to Pumpkaboo. Yeah, basically searches almost any Pokemon in your deck. And then we play 3 Ultra Ball. This card's good, but I don't love it in this deck because you have to discard 2 cards. And in a deck where hand advantage is very important, discarding 2 cards makes me upset sometimes. So I might cut this down to 2 because you do need a way to get to Gardevoir if you don't have it already, and this is one of the only ways to get to it. So I might consider cutting this down to 2. We'll see. We shall see through more playtesting. And then we play 2 copies of Rare Candy. I think 2 was fine. I never needed a 3rd. This lets you skip right over from Ralts straight to Gardevoir, so you don't have to go into Kirlia. And then we played 1 Pal Pad. Spoiler alert, I played Miriam in my deck. So this actually helped me shuffle back a Miriam and a Worker, and I ended up using the Miriam a 2nd time. So that's it for the items. Then we go to the trainers. 3 Professor's Research. I think this deck is one of the best decks that could play this card because you need cards in your hand almost all the time to have advantage over your opponent. And you could just discard 1 or 2 cards and draw 7. So this card leads to hand advantage. So you definitely need to play this in this deck. 2 Boss's Orders. I thought 2 was fine. I never needed a 3rd. If 1 gets prized, I still have an extra copy. And I could add it back with Pal Pad. This actually won me my round 1 against Miraidon. I bossed his Orders, his Raikou V out, and knocked it out for the final 2 prize cards. And then we play 1 Temple of Sinnoh. This is good against Mew and Lugia because it turns off all special energies. So, yeah, very, very good. Against the Mew player, this turned off his double turbo for 2 turns before he drew an out. But in those 2 turns, I did a lot of damage. And then we play 1 copy of Judge. Yeah, in this deck, I want to have a lot of cards in my hand. And for me to put back my hand and only draw 4 hurts a lot. So I really only want to use this when my opponent has like 8, 9 cards in their hand. So we could keep the hand advantage similar. And then hopefully I get back hand advantage through Professor's Research or Curlia. And then we play 1 Worker. It's an out to Path of the Peak. And yeah, and draw 3. We play Penny. Penny's really good because if your Zacian has a lot of damage on him, instead of your opponent knocking him out and taking 2 prize cards, I can put him back in my hand with all his attachments. So yeah, that's just good for my opponent not getting free prize cards by knocking out my damaged Pokemon. And then for the last trainer, we play Miriam. I think she's really, really good in this deck. You can put 5 Pokemon back and draw 3. Half the time, I was only putting back 1 or 2 Pokemon. You don't have to put back 5. It says up to 5. So in Yu-Gi-Oh, we call this Pot of Avarice. In Pokemon, it's Miriam. And then for the for the item card we played in my deck, this is probably the worst card in my deck, was Sky Sealstone. I'm going to cut this card. It was not good against Lost Box at all. It didn't even come up against Miraidon. Yeah, I'm going to cut this card. I think Forest Stone's better. I like Forest Stone a lot better. And that might just be me saying that because I've been playing my wife's Mew deck a lot lately, and I like Forest Stone. So, yeah, this might be a Forest Stone. And then the last cards I played in my deck were 12 Energy. So, round 5, like I stated earlier in the video, my opening hand round 5 was 4 Energy, a Greninja. No, not Greninja. I'm sorry. A Battle VIP Pass. Where is it? A Battle VIP Pass, a Fog Crystal, and I think it was Gardevoir. No. It had to be a starter. And Ralts. Yeah, it was Ralts. It was this Ralts. And I went to go activate Battle VIP Pass to get Greninja, but Greninja was already prized. So I was crying because I was stuck with all these in my hand. Not good. Not good at all. But that was the only time that happened in the tournament. So, yep, guys, that is my 3rd place Pokemon League Challenge Gardevoir deck. I hope you enjoyed the profile. I hope you learned something from this. I hope to get more Pokemon content on the channel. So, guys, subscribe, like this video, comment down below what card choices you would change in my deck. If you know of any secret spice, drop a comment so people could test it out and learn about cards. And yep, that's it for this profile. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good one.